What's up, guys? I thought I'd do a little December breakdown and just a video to show you where my company's going to go in 2021. Maybe some nuggets in this video, and just showing you the real costs behind selling on Amazon. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me just show you how many units I sold in December, and then I'll just do a breakdown of that total sales and the expenses, and then how much it would cost to have a warehouse to sort of, do the same sort of volume. So yeah, units sold was 12,700. So quite high volume. Not too bad, but the buy price is quite low and the sell price is quite low relative to other sellers. One of my goals is to actually get a little bit more variety and increase this sell price a bit. But there's one advantage of having this sort of sell price, and it's below £10. So you get the Amazon fees are actually cheaper if you sell something below £10. I think it's like 75% instead of 15. I could be wrong, but it's definitely cheaper under 10 for the most of the categories. And then the buy price is about, it's about a third, which is what you're looking for. But yeah, that equaled in sales 126,000. Which again, you got to think December is hyped up. There's a lot more volume in December, but for me actually, because a lot of the stuff I do is sort of just general, household, supermarket goods. A lot of it is just everyday stuff, so I shouldn't really see too much of a difference in the other months. But we'll see. We'll see how 2021 goes. So yeah, the actual profit on this without VAT is 30,000, which is that's great, but we've got to think about the other costs. So the VAT liability is 8,800. Actually, Mr. FBA did a really good video on how to sort of reduce this every sort of quarter, and basically the sort of summary of it is spending a lot in stock in that quarter, so you never really have to pay VAT because you're always reinvesting in stock. Obviously, when you stop reinvesting in stock, you'll have a big VAT bill because if you've stopped that purchasing. But he goes into detail. Definitely worth checking his YouTube out. Yeah, Mr. FBA UK. But yeah, if you check out, the margin is 70%, which cool. So yeah, the biggest thing obviously is getting these expenses down, and the biggest cost is, you'll see here, is the prep center fees. So for me, I use a prep center called FBA Prep Services UK, and they're great. They're professional, but they are a little bit pricey compared to competition. And one of the reasons why they are pricey is because they have this £200 fixed fee per month, which has some goodies, but for someone at my level, it doesn't help me. But for someone who's beginning, it includes like sourcing sheets and stuff like that. So maybe that £200 is worth it for a beginner. But having said that, they're professional, and they're a good company. So I would recommend them if you're going for a prep center. But yeah, anyway, 7,000 it's a lot, and when you're spending this much, you got to think, okay, what am I doing in 2021 to reduce this? And for me, I'm moving into a warehouse in March, depending on when these remediation works and stuff like that happens. But I'm going through legals, and I've got my name down, so that's definitely happening. But I will show you how much this sort of reduces by having your own warehouse and the other benefits. But yeah, the accountancy, which is all this, so Xero, Receipt Bank, Link My Books. Link My Books is the Amazon side, getting the fees from Amazon. Receipt Bank is great, amazing, saves so much time. If you do retail arbitrage and you're not using Receipt Bank, then what are you doing? As soon as you buy something from the store, just take a picture of it and you're done with it, honestly. And then Xero is just, the standard, right? Obviously, on top of this, I will also have the end of year, but most Amazon sellers, for some reason, pay in monthly installments for that, but I don't understand. So I'd rather use those monthly installments to buy stock, and then I buy just at the end of the year, like most businesses do. But for some reason, Amazon online, it's always a monthly because people want that extra support, right? But for me, I'm good. I've got my accountancy outside on Amazon, who I've been using for years, so I just stick with that. But that would be about a grand for the end of year. Yeah, then you just have Keeper, which got to have Keeper. I mean, it's the best tool to source. I don't think people really know this and just think it's the Keeper chart, but it's definitely the best software to source. Again, I can always help out at some point with that. And then there's Buybot Pro, which again, IP claims, profit breakdown, you need that. And then Reprice Express, it's a little bit more expensive than like Profit Perfector Pro, but it has automation. So the automation basically reduces like your minimum price and your maximum price. So, if something's running out of stock, then it will increase the price. If something's not selling out, then it will reduce your margin. So I can always do a video on that, but I basically have a default margin of 15%. If it doesn't sell after maybe 2 weeks, it will reduce down automatic to 5%. After a while, it will go down to, 0, 1%, which is a fail on my side. But, it's sometimes good to get rid of it, especially when you're buying stuff that, expires. But yeah, the total cost was 7,162. A lot of this obviously was the prep center fees. The actual net profit is 14,400 basically. Net margin 11%, 11.41%. Which, I mean, I'm really happy with. I mean, you can't complain about this sort of profit. It's amazing. I'm very grateful to be in this business at this time. And there's still so much time to get into it. 2021 would be great for Amazon. Yeah, this margin's good. You see a lot online about 20, 25%, and I usually they don't really account all this. And if you're doing prep yourself, they don't account their own time. People don't value their own time enough, which is the argument for actually using a prep center. Is say you value your time at £30 an hour, then why are you doing prep yourself when you can outsource that for 20 per hour? Because that additional £10 per hour of you working towards other things in the business, or maybe another, you do freelance work for another field, and then why are you wasting time prepping yourself when you can make more money other ways? You hear people like Rob Moore and stuff like that always talk about this, and that's sort of how much is your time worth, compared to how much it costs to do something. And to waffle on a little bit, like again, a cleaner and stuff like that, it's like, okay, a cleaner costs £13 an hour. You can get a cleaner in once a week. How much does it cost me? How much am I worth per hour? And if I'm worth maybe £20 an hour, then why am I cleaning the house for an hour when I can get a cleaner in? That's what I tell my girlfriend anyway. Yeah. So the last thing is warehouse costs. And yeah, this is for a 3,000 square foot, and it's the one I'm moving into. And yeah, the rent on this is 1,500. I'm a little bit further south. Maybe if you go way up north, it'd be cheaper. The rates, so you can get this reduced by a lot, and the reduced rate is actually 175, but with small business rates, really, you can get a massive reduction of rates, or get all of it off. So definitely look when you're getting your first warehouse to get maybe in the sort of sweet spot of around 2,000 to 3,000 square foot, and this should usually be about 1,000, but it's massively reduced because of the size, the rateable value. So definitely look for that. If you're looking for a warehouse, maybe look for about £6-7 per square foot. But yeah, I'll do more. One actually, the purposes of this group and the YouTube channel is to document my warehouse journey. But yeah, service charge 150. So yeah, 150 a month. It might be a little bit cheaper. This is an estimate. Other bills like electricity, insurance, 250. Again, it's an estimate. I will know more in a few months, and I can do a better breakdown in 2021. So I compare packaging equipment. For me, I sent off about 300 boxes, I think, in December to do 12,000 units. So, a box is £1.10, £1.20, maybe a little bit cheaper. So packaging equipment is 400, could be way more. And then staff, I want 2 full-time staff at 18,000 probably a year. Is maybe you can get it cheaper if they're younger. Who knows? But I thought I'd overestimate that. And yeah, the total cost of that is 5,700. And with 2 full-time staff, I said that the capability is to send 18,400 units per month, and that's based off a 23-day working month, sorry, and each staff member sending off 400 units. So this is the cost actually for 18,000 units. So you can see it's actually a lot cheaper than paying 7,000. And there's just no way you can scale for a prep center when you get to sending more than 10,000 units. So for me, it's just a natural route. But yeah, I thought I'd go into a little roadmap and of where my business is and where I want to go in 2021. Obviously, having a warehouse, I can go into more of it, of the advantage of it. Just to have a little summary, it's you can do SFP. That's a massive thing, which is seller fulfilled prime. You can do merchant fulfilled. Obviously, you can do this from your own home, but for your own warehouse, you have this professional outlet. When you're contacting suppliers and brands, you have the warehouse, you have that place of business, and they'd be much more likely to speak to you than when you outsource distribution. You have that central hub. You can go to brands and say, look, I can fulfill, this is way in the future, 10,000 units a day. I have my own in-house marketing team. And it just sets you up for the future, right? And obviously more on that in another video. But for me, it's a natural step in me growing from, just under maybe 7 figures, if you do on a yearly basis, to 2021, where I'm sure I'd reach 7 figures, and then 5 years I want to do 8 figures. So yeah, this is my little roadmap and sort of a one take video. Hope it helps. Hope it's not too much waffling. I've probably got a few things wrong here, but hopefully a few nuggets as well. But yeah, cheers guys.